for everyone, and we are invisible. Tick tock, 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 tick. What's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Leggett representing Team JVS to my great pleasure. Proud, very proud to acknowledge that we have been here and we are ready to talk about the first 6 episodes of Watchmen. We were blessed being able to see this through HBO, and this is going to be a non-spoiler dissection overview of my perspective, my thoughts, and reaction to just how amazing this show is, and how you are not ready for the TikTok of Watchmen Season 1 on HBO. So, just to go and muddle through this, I'm going to go and kind of introduce certain things about it. So, this was very hard for me to go, because I actually am very much so a fan of what Alan Moore did with the Watchmen series, but also what Zack Snyder was able to do with the movie incarnation as well. A lot of people don't like the movie incarnation. The thing about this film, this is so faithful to the actual graphic novel and what Alan Moore positioned into the world, and the descent of what humans are capable of, what their links are, and what their temperaments could be, that it transcends into that, going from what that did into the 1980s into the 2000s, and the world immersions flop, and the ramifications of everything that happened, from what the comedian did, from what the actual Minutemen did, and even what Dr. Manhattan did, are all projected into everybody's daily lives into this actual story. That's what makes it so fascinating, because if you actually do know the graphic novel, if you've seen just what Zack Snyder did with that, which is very faithful at adaptation, you will instantly catch on, like, oh my gosh, this is why this happened. Or if you like remember certain things, like when the actual squid descended upon, New York, and what that actually did, like all the ramifications of those moments, good and bad, are debuted into this actual, just the first 6 episodes. And I thought that was very fascinating from a written standpoint. You got amazing actors. You got Louis Gossett Jr., you got Don Johnson, Jeremy Irons, Regina King, I'm going to keep listing down people, Tim Blake Nelson, who else I want to name? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh my gosh. Gene Smart. You got another actor in Javon Adipo, and all of them are on it. Oh my gosh. The first episode, I would say, is owned by Don Johnson and Regina King. And that's not to say that Regina King doesn't kill it in other episodes, but like the first episode off rip, you're going to be like, yo, they are just in it. You know what I'm saying? You've seen certain things from the actual trailers of like the hand-to-hand combat and just the weirdness of what's going on. One of the things I appreciated about this is that the trailers left me with like these questions like, why are these men wearing like Rorschach like masks? Like, why does it look like the police officers are wearing masks? Like, you off rip from the very first episode are immersed into the understanding of who is what is actually happening, and the changes that have been made in our history and subverted into the history that is from the mythology of the Watchmen. And that's what I love, because every single person that is a character, every single actor that's a character in this one, they take the embodiment of the roles so seriously. I would say another big standout, again, is Jean Smart. Jean Smart, I don't want to say what her role is or who she actually is, but she chews up scenery. She chews up scripts. Like, her presence is like laid foundation so well. And I want to say in like episode 5, I would say, there's one interesting thing that happened with origin of an actual character, And I think that Tim Blake Nelson gives one of his best performances of his entire career. Like, so serious. Episode 6 left me in chills, like to the point that I was like, yo, this has gone beyond just being an amazing show. This episode alone as a short film, if I went and took that in a short film, put that in any like film festivals or whatever, it would win. From the directing, the acting, the positioning, the camera work. And that's another thing. The cinematography is so good. Like, there's so many epic fights. There's so many different aerial shots. There's so many different well-placed imagery motions that happen. Even like the title shots from each episode, I thought it was really smart. Instead of like wasting time with like this long drawn out intro, like, no, this is the subject matter and this is why this shows up. And I think that everybody is on their A game. The directing is amazing. Like, the director understands the world of Watchmen. Like, when I was actually at New York Comic Con, he went into grave detail with his inspirations and aspirations about the Watchmen, what that unfolded him into being, you know, a director and a creator and a writer, and like his trying to tackle this and how he was going to do it. And it was kind of just like, man, he's on a totally different level of understanding and captivation of how you can be able to take characters that we've known for years and just kind of like refocus them on a totally different level. And I mean, I think that to the credit of the Star Wars creators and Kathleen Kennedy and them, they're definitely trying to do that with the recent trilogy. But in the 6 episodes I've seen of this, like, the soundtrack, the score, amazing. I could cry. I could legit. Like, there's so many different moments that I feel like certain characters have their own theme. But then there's this specific theme that I don't know if it's taking luxuries from what Zack Snyder did as far as with the score for his choice for certain things. But there is a distinct theme for Watchmen, and you will know when it happens. And I know I'm being so vague. I apologize with this. Jeremy Irons. Oh my gosh. I can't say anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys. Like, he just nails it. Every single scene he's in. Like, he's very calculative, he's very smart, he's very maniacal, but at the same time, like, it's richness to his character. And it's kind of just like, he just chews up scenery. Just like, honestly, all of the actors chew up their scenery so well. And then there's some child actors that do some very good work as well. That plays the role of Regina King's children. Hung Chow, that plays the role in this one, I can't say what her character does. She's amazing. Like, her subtleties and her feeling that anything and everything could possibly happen when she's on the scene is very fascinating to me, in different ways that I can't really describe. Yaya plays the role of Regina King's husband. I think their chemistry, Regina King and his chemistry, are so pivotal to her characterization, and even the richness of the depths and the layers of her character of Angela. I think it's a refined performance for Regina. Like, specifically, some things that happen like throughout. It's just like you talk about emotionally compromised. Like, it's different than that. It's so much more deeper than that. Especially the way that the last episode ends. And I mean, I'm gonna say this, and don't take my word for it. Watch it for yourself, please. But I have individual episode reviews that are gonna be coming out every single Sunday night, and every single one of them, I'll spoil it for you now. This is not spoiled on the show, but my rating, every single episode was a 10. Every single episode. And I haven't done that since the beginning stages of Game of Thrones. I really haven't. Like, this is next tier level. Like, on the level of what they've done in the past and what they're doing now with, of course, like Westworld. And like, this is the bar that, like, I was like, I'm so glad that they're doing HBO Max and they're infusing the DC universe shows and the mythology and the different characters and stuff like that into that experience for HBO Max, because it is home. Like, they make it their own, and they do an amazingly bang up job. Every single person is committed to their roles. The sets, the designs, the VFX. I didn't talk about that. The VFX, the VFX and the CGI are literally movie level quality, and you won't even notice sometimes. You really won't even notice. It will trick you that much. And I know I'm going into great details without saying anything at all, but pay attention to my in-depth single reviews. I will be releasing one on Sunday night. Definitely go and check us out. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell button. With that bell button, go click it to all, because you do not want to miss my in-depth thoughts on each episode. I've gone through every single one. Team JVS is here. Hope you guys enjoy this. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. TikTok.